Hello, hello, everybody. I am shuffling the cards. I am getting ready for this fabulous new moon in Aries. And if you are just me, whenever you see this live or on the replay, you can set the intention to hear the exact message that you need at the exact time you need it. And I'm going to be sharing some general messages about what you can expect for the new moon, and then we will be taking your questions if you have any, or if you would just like a general card pull, you can do that as well. And just all you need to do is write a comment below this video, and I can see it, and I will share your message. I will be here for the next half hour. If you see me go off the air, it's because there is nobody asking questions. And in that case, if you're in my private Facebook group, then I will continue to hold space for anybody that wants to ask a question, but maybe just came in a little too late, until 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Today is March 20th. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I get asked a lot, how do you celebrate the new moon? And the biggest thing that I have found is it's really about honoring your journey and also really being clear about what you want to take with you for the next 2 weeks. So between the new moon and the full moon is generally a 2-week cycle. And very much it's about, letting go, but also about where you want to inject your energy. Where do you want to put your energy out into the world? This is not just about taking and getting and manifesting. It's also inviting us all in a new moon setting to see, okay, where do I want to share my gifts and talents? Where are new places that I can share my voice, share my time, share my energy, share my resources, whatever it is. Hello, hello, everybody. I see Megan is here. And my favorite way to celebrate on a new moon is actually on the day of the new moon. I always carve out some time in my goddess office here to journal about like a couple of lessons that have come up. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Heather. From the last 2 weeks. And it could be a sentence. Sometimes it's 3 pages. But after I do that, I love to do rituals. So I will take the crystals that I've been using primarily for the 2 weeks before, or the ones that I plan on using, and I will put them in a beautiful bowl outside in my backyard under the new moon and set my intention. So new moons are about fresh starts, new beginnings, setting intentions, but it's a very active time. So for Aries, it's happening tomorrow, March 21st at exactly 10:23 a.m. Pacific time. And you may find that your energy is a little bit more animated, a little bit more impulsive. The moon is in Aries, and it's all about being bold, and it's all about being courageous. And I wrote down with a smile, leap before you look. Instead of look before you leap, this is leap before you look. All of you goddesses that like a plan and like a lot of structure, this may feel like you just got on a crazy ride and you're like, oh my gosh, is there even an end in sight here? I don't know where I'm going, and twisting and turning. And those of you that really enjoy going with the flow may be like, woohoo, I'm not even wearing a seatbelt. Let's see where we go. Find your middle ground with that, okay? Where do you need to take some chances? Where have you been playing it way too safe and boring yourself to tears? This is what this new moon is like giving you clarity on, right? Where are you kind of bored with your life? And where do you need to jumpstart it and really take some chances and take some, creative risks? So this might look like, initiating going out with friends instead of always waiting for the phone to ring, for example, or at work, sharing your bold, big idea, even if, you're scared of being judged, or you're scared they're going to think it's stupid, but you're like, I can't not share this. Maybe it's not for this time, but I need to get it out. And you fire off that email. in love, in romantic relationships, this is a time when you can really say, you know what, I'm drawing a line in the sand. This is the way that I feel comfortable showing up in the relationship. If you aren't comfortable, I totally give you permission to leave, or I'm going to leave. But it's like unemotional, unapologetic, just go for it, kind of bold vibes. And it can feel a little scary, but also really, really exciting. So where can you surprise yourself and really enjoy what comes without so much attachment to needing it to look a certain way? Okay, so let's pull some cards. I also did Georgina's going to be posting probably tomorrow a new moon reading for the collective, but I'm going to pull some cards for right now just to set the stage up. If you do have questions or you want a mini reading, just write your question in the comments and then I'll pull a card for you around that. And the same oh, hey Susan, if you see somebody's question and you're like, oh my gosh, I went through that situation too, I can share my experience, go for it. Like that's really why I created this group. It was never to just have the spotlight on me. It's like, let's collaborate, let's share with each other. We have such a magical community here and all of you are super intuitive. So yeah, Susan says, the Aries moon is a time for a bold, fresh start. Amen. And Susan is an Aries, so there you go. Oh my gosh. I've never pulled this card. I've been on a kick. So Heather, I know you're watching. My good friend Heather gifted me the Shaman's Dream, and I've been just using them for all of these mini readings because I love them so much. Look at this. Whale song. Kind of random, but beautiful. Resonating. So what I'm feeling for our whole group for this new moon is it is about really singing your song. Like it's about kind of being a little bit weird, owning your weird, and letting us see the real you. So where have you been, again, hiding, boring yourself to tears, playing it safe? Where do you need to just sing it out in terms of your actions, in terms of what you're choosing to spend your time on? Like what is the version of you that is not afraid, to say how you feel and who you are, and what would she do? Where would she go? Who would she hang out with? What would she tolerate? What would she not tolerate, right? It's like, ask yourself those questions. And this is about a breakthrough of sorts. So there's potential on this new moon next 2 weeks for an emotional breakthrough. I feel like many of you are healers in this group, and you are so good at holding space for other people in your lives, whether it's your family, your friends, your loved ones, even coworkers. But right, giving yourself that time to really break free of some internal prisons and internal self-talk that is just keeping you stuck. This is a time when you can be free. It's so cool. And then I look at the number 61, it adds up to a 7, which is the number of this year. 2023 adds up to a 7 as well. So it's about spirit. The 7 is a number of spiritual connection. You are all being invited to look at your life from a much higher perspective than maybe you've allowed. Okay, and with that, let's go into your questions. So I see Heather, you are first on deck. Heather asks, how do I get clarity on how to move forward? I've been told to take bigger risks and dream bigger, but I have taken risks that are currently unsustainable. So I feel confused and depleted. Plus, I meditate 1 to 2 times a day and journal, so not quite sure what else to do. Well, you are not alone in this. I know how frustrating it can be to feel like, hey, I am going outside my comfort zone, spirit. Throw me a bone. Where am I supposed to put energy, and where is it just not worth it, right? Let's see what the Shaman's Dream has to say today. So before I even pull the card, what came up in my own intuition was that there may not be anything else to do at the moment. So it's not about doing more or doing anything. It's about being, and being in your like in your sovereign space, right? Where you're not needing anything, you're not worried, you're just relaxed so that stuff can come. And it's not to say that right actions won't be shown, they will, but your guides are just saying, like, really clearly, like, don't put more on her to-do list. Like, you're a doer. If we gave you something to do, you would do it. But this is about being and feeling, which I know can be hard sometimes. This one reminds me of the Big Island, Kona. Lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. So you are gonna have a breakthrough. You are gonna make it to the top of this mountain. But how do I get clarity on how to move forward? Is to be still. Is to be still, connect in nature. Maybe not even necessarily meditating. Like, what if we took the label off and it's just, allowing yourself to be. Stare at the ceiling if you need to, right? And just notice what you're feeling, what's coming up. And there may be some fears there, and that's okay. Interesting though, look, 34 adds up to a what, everybody? 7. 7, the number of spirit, spiritual connection, but also isolation. So sometimes isolation can be really, really helpful because you tune out the world, right? And you're just listening to your own thoughts. And if your own thoughts are not supportive, if they're spinning into that space of like, right, I'm freaking out, like that's a nudge to love that inner child that's freaking out, to honor the feelings and to sit with them. And you're so good at this. But really just, there's nothing to do right now, I see. You've done it. You've done it. And when there is, believe me, Aries moon, Aries energy will tell you, move your ass, girl. Like, it's time. So consider this a mini break to do nothing. And in the doing nothing, you get to be everything. But I'm curious if any of you have felt this way, if you've been wanting to get clarity, not sure how to move forward, maybe you have been taking those big, bold actions and nothing is panning out. How do you deal with that waiting room, that initial lag between when things show up and not get discouraged? Please share it underneath Heather's question. All right, do we have any other questions? Right now, I just see Heather's. Let me refresh the page. Oh, I can't. I'm live. All right. I see. Oh, yeah, my pleasure. Okay. The other thing I want to say about the Aries moon, maintain an energy of curiosity and also play and fun. If you take it too seriously, take yourself too seriously, take people too seriously, it's like there's potential for conflict, there's potential for impulsive behavior that leads to, something that you don't want. So it's kind of like a ticking bomb. You want to just like manage, okay, I'm going to take the risks and then I'm going to stand back and see like where the chips fall, versus feeling like you need to just keep bulldozing right through the next 2 weeks kind of unconsciously. Not that anybody in this group would do that, but I just feel guided to say that. So Susan says, yes, patience is hard. Waiting can feel like a long time. Yes, we are in an age right now where we want everything yesterday, and technology knows that. So we are instant gratification addicts. And when it comes to following cycles of the moon, following cycles of our body, it can be way harder. It can feel like somebody is taking away something, like we are being deprived versus we are being primed for the perfect opportunity or the perfect thing. Okay, so Megan has a question about health and weight. Feels like there's no more solutions that are viable. Where do I head from here? Surgery? Okay, so again, caveat, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical practitioner, so please don't confuse this with medical advice in any way, shape, or form. But let's see. what the shaman's dream has to say, Miss Megan. Okay, so I got the Magician's Sword. Isn't that beautiful? It reminds me of Merlin. Confidence in your magic. And this number, ooh, wrong side, 37 adds up to a 10, which breaks down to a 1. So this is about Aries energy, like headstrong, independence, blazing a new trail. In terms of where do you head, this is saying part of not why you may be having trouble, but maybe why it feels like it's taking so long. There's some message here around inner confidence, feeling comfortable in your own skin, feeling comfortable to be vulnerable and be seen in a bigger way. And I'm not sure exactly what that means for you, but there may be a correlation between the weight not falling off and not feeling safe to fully be seen. And this is something that it can mean like you're dieting and you're doing all the correct things, but for some reason it's like the body feels like it needs to protect itself and it needs to stay in a certain size because that's where it feels safe. So surgery, totally up to you. But if you do go that route, again, there's like the inner world to consider. Even once the surgery happens, if you choose to go that route, right? Can you really look at that inner child that may want you to look at it and hold it and say, you know what, honey, you're enough. You're enough with or without the surgery. And I don't know your particular situation. So, if there's a medical concern, I would certainly advise you to follow your own intuition around that. But this is also a sword, so if you've been getting that nudge for surgery, then maybe, you can do a consultation and just get a vibe. How does it feel to consider that? Like really consider taking that big, bold step. Does it feel good? Does it feel expansive? Does it feel like contractive and weird? And then you'll know, okay? All right, guys. This is so fun. I have missed doing these a lot. Anybody else have a question? This is the time. Let me check my phone because it's easier to look at messages on there. Okay, cool. I think we're good. Susan, or if Sarah is still watching, do you guys have any questions? If not, I think I'm going to wrap. Heather, I'm being greedy, but since you're asking, if it's a burning question, go ahead. This is the time. Oh, Megan says, thank you. Makes a lot of sense. My pleasure. Weight is one of those things. I mean, I've had my own journey with it, and I've tried dieting and exercise plans and all this stuff too. And when I was giving you your reading, a lot of it resonated with me. I'm like, okay, where do I need to look at where I've been self-protecting or not wanting to be seen in a bigger way? And that's an invitation for both of us. So you're not alone. Okay, Heather, how do I address the masculine tasks? And then we'll get to you, Susan. I see yours. How do I address the masculine tasks when I'm supposed to just be? Why does a task have to be masculine or feminine? Right? A task is just a task, but the energy that we bring to it can make it whatever we want. So I would also invite you to look at what do you consider masculine and what do you consider feminine? I don't want to do it. Okay. So how do you address actions you don't want to take? I'm just digging a little deeper here because, That's what I do too. I, I find personally that when I approach things from just masculine, right? Just like doing something because I have to do it, it can feel draining. And then when I approach it just feminine, but I'm not clear on like why I'm doing it or the vision, then it can feel like I'm spinning my wheels or I'm just like creating from a space of distraction. So I can just speak for myself. One of the things that helps me to do things I don't want to do is to look at how can I make it fun. So like taxes, right? Getting ready for taxes, not my favorite thing to do for the accountant, but it has to get done. So I'll play some really good music and I give myself breaks. So I'll do it in like 15, sometimes even 10-minute chunks. And then, right, I will get back to it and I just tell myself, remember the end result. The end result is that you're going to have this feeling of relief and completion. But if I try to do it all in one go, forget it. I either won't do it or I'll have to redo my tasks. So I think for me, the key is how can I make it fun? If I can't make it fun, then can I remember the bigger picture of why it needs to get done? And then looking at when you're doing it too. I talk a lot about this with private clients, is like looking at scheduling things when your energy is at its maximum. So I know if I wait until like 5 p.m. to do something that's high creativity, high expression, it's going to take me 3 times as long. Whether is, if I just wait till the next day and get up and do it at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., I can do it in 15 minutes. I don't know why that is, but it really does help. Okay. Susan, I love the information so far. Big month for me. Yes. All right. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, this one fell out. Hang on just a second. I dropped them all. Oh, no way. Okay, so this is the one that fell open first. The same one that I pulled for Heather. Lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. But it's interesting, right? For her, I saw like it was about being and being still. But for you, I see it as about teaching. For some reason, that's what comes up. Like teaching, letting yourself be seen, like big and bold, and like imparting your wisdom to the world. Whatever that means to you, girl, you're ready. You're ready. Megan, I hear you. Feeling seen can be really, it can be really scary. And like, if we haven't felt safe, right, to kind of experiment with what that looks like, it can feel like, oh my gosh. So baby steps, goddess. I love it. Okay. All right, you guys. Heather says, I feel like I have to for the money. Yeah. So then maybe that's your bigger why. It's like, then I get to indulge and support myself, right? I get to feel calm. I get to eat, right? Like at its basic thing. Like that's why you're doing it. I love it. Susan says she does the little breaks too. During commercials while watching a show, I get up and clean a bit. Yeah, break it up. There's no rule that says it has to be like from start to finish in one go. I think that's hell. That's torture for me. You guys know I can't sit still at all. This is a lot. Anyways, thank you all so much for being here. And if you do have more insights for any of the ladies that were vulnerable and fabulous and shared their question, please tag them below their name And if you would like more or you want to speak with me in private about what's going on for you, then definitely book a private reading. The link should be in the description. But enjoy and look for the new moon reel that should be up in the next day or two for Aries. All right. Bye, ladies. Have a wonderful day. I love you.